Up next on today's Wild West, we'll saddle up to the sand hills of Nebraska, where you can experience the real deal working cowboy life at Rouse's 1+1 Ranch. You'll meet the creative couple behind County Line Saddlery. I've never met a husband and wife saddle making team before.
I told you that's because they killed each other.
Plus, Hollywood's favorite Western movie location.
This is Gene Autry Rock.
Lone Pine, California.
And there's kids in their 20s that are John Wayne fans.
And much more. Next on today's Wild West. The Wild West. It's still out there. And we'll show you how to find it. This is today's Wild West. It's September in Nebraska. And cattle rancher Jerry Rouse has an urgent problem. One of his cows has a serious medical issue, an anal prolapse, potentially life-threatening.
We'll rope this cow and get her tied down and put her back together.
But Jerry's confident he and his wife Tammy can handle it.
Keep the cow here at the water tank.
Okay.
It's all part of another day of riding the range and checking the herd at Rouse's 1+1 Ranch outside Burwell in the Sandhills of Nebraska. You've probably seen this before.
Oh, once or twice.
Rouse's is not a dude ranch, but a working cattle ranch that takes guests, just 10 at a time.
It's just amazing to be here and living a little part of their life for a week.
People looking to experience the life of a working cowboy, like Herman. They're from Germany on his 11th month-long visit.
That is what I want to have. I don't just want to have a cowboy picture, I want to live it.
Tammy pulls up in a four-wheeler with the medical gear to treat cow number 59, but the white-faced heifer is not interested. It takes a little perseverance.
Yeah, Herman! Keep pulling. There you go. Attaboy. Attaboy.
But Jerry and Herman finally get her roped, and then the real work begins.
Here.
After the animal gets a sedative, Jerry and Tammy get started putting the ailing bovine back together.
I've got mine. No.
It's a hot day and hard work. Doctoring cattle is not for those who don't want to get their hands dirty.
Pulled that back.
But this cow will die if it doesn't get treated.
Just do what you have to do.
It takes some time, but finally, the job is done. And minutes later, the cow appears none the worse for wear.
All went well. We was lucky. Yep, lucky you guys found her.
It's unfortunate that this thing happened with one of the cows, but it's interesting to see how ranchers do everything they can do to save that one cow.
She'll be moseying off. She'll go lay down again after a bit.
Live happily ever after.
That's right. That's what I hope.
There's just one program for guests at Rouse's: run the ranch from the back of a horse or a four-wheeler. Herman hops on early in the morning, drive the horses in from their overnight pasture. Days here begin before sunrise. Wonderful to see it this morning as the first rays of the sun bathe the big ranch house in a warm glow.
Did you sleep good?
Inside, Tammy's cooking up a farm-fresh breakfast.
Fresh from the cow, huh?
Just about everything she serves in her delicious homemade meals
We make a lot of cheese.
is raised right here at the ranch.
90% of what you're eating on our table comes out of the garden.
The big garden's out back.
It's a trombocini.
You name it, Tammy grows it.
Yep, there's Brussels sprouts there. I have a little bit of everything.
Potatoes, peppers, broccoli, tomatoes, and many more, with flowers to help the bees that keep everything pollinated.
It has been a big drawing card to have fresh food and know where it's coming from.
We'll share those meals like a big family at the long dining room table. And that fresh food is tasty.
Oh my gosh. Tammy can cook. You're not going to lose weight here.
And she's right over here.
You may not gain any either. After breakfast, a busy physical day begins as we head out to the corral to saddle our horses.
Sometimes she's just a little tough to catch, but she's an amazing little mare.
Some of these frisky equines like to play hard to get. But Jerry's there to lend a hand
Take her,
and show you how it's
and,
done.
As long as she knows you're here, just come around with me on this side. And then we'll just ask her to get over, okay? Sure. Good girl.
As we catch, brush, and saddle our mounts.
Okay, guys, we better get going.
It helps, of course, to have some riding experience before you come here,
It's not necessary.
but rookies are welcome too.
I have a fair amount of confidence in the horses that we have for our guests to ride, that they're safe and they'll take care of the non-riders.
Jerry's got the right horse for riders of every ability level.
So what's the mission today?
We're going to ride up here about 7 miles to a pasture, and there's 150 yearlings up here.
90 miles northwest of Grand Island, Rouse's lies in the Sand Hills,
But it's a big pasture.
It's a big pasture.
a unique part of the West. Vast, wide open, and aptly named. The soil beneath the grass that grows here appears to be nothing but sand. And there are spots known as blowouts that look like a golf course sand trap, but it's the perfect place to run cattle.
I'm pretty sure God made these sandhills just to raise horses and cattle on.
Jerry's ancestors first arrived here as homesteaders, and today's ride takes us by an abandoned house from that era, built in the 1800s of sand and mortar.
Him and his wife lived here in a tent for like, I don't know, something like 3 years or something building this house.
The trail we're riding to the pasture today was once an old postal route,
Let's head north.
but once we get where we're going, we'll spread out, look for cattle, and make sure they're okay.
And it can be anything. You just never know. That's why we check them.
Lots of freedom when you ride here, no nose to tail, and no one's looking over your shoulder.
2 weeks ago, he bucked me off.
While checking the cows, Herman also uses the ride to train a new paint the ranch just got in.
Now we are a step further.
Herman, who looks and acts like the real deal himself, only started riding 15 years ago. And when he and his friends Manuela and Catherine discovered Rouse's a few years later, they found what they were looking for.
Our lovely place. We like the horses, the landscape, Jerry and Tammy. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. I really love it.
Catherine and Manuela are just as enamored of the ranch as Herman. They're up before sunrise every morning caring for the calves who need bottle feeding and taking care of other chores that are no chore to them.
Kind of paying to work, I guess, huh?
Yeah, but we like it.
Herman and these two girls are just awesome. They've been here so many years. Hell, they know more about what goes on around here than I do, I think.
Did he know much when he came here?
No.
You can come here and learn to be a cowboy if you want to.
Well, they need a better teacher than what they got, but yeah, they do pretty damn good.
Don't get me wrong, I don't try to be as good as the cowboy that lives here because I can't achieve that. I try to get better every year, and so I don't see when I'll ever be finished with coming here.
And they're not the only ones.
Oh, there's a guest from New Mexico that's really good. There's a guy from France that's really good.
The Rouses began taking guests in the 1990s, but when Tammy first proposed the idea, Jerry was not enthused.
I was a lot leery about it, but it's been just the opposite of what I thought it would be. The people are amazing, and the friendships we've made over the years, you can't put a price on it.
No better way to make friends than spending time in the saddle, checking the cows and the water. Pumped from a well by that ancient but effective technology.
It's been here a long time.
Some over-anxious cows knocked the spout awry.
These cattle are starting to get low on water.
Herman spotted an old piece of rope that can fix that problem.
We'll use it to tie this lead spout so they can't knock it back out of there again.
Never know what you're going to find out here, huh?
Yeah, well, I think I'm good over here. Right. And usually you'll find something.
We stop in a grove of cottonwood trees for lunch, the picturesque site of an old homestead, whose former resident left behind the ruins of an old Model T.
And the windshield was between those two things.
Right.
Plus a rake once used to cut hay.
But when they were sharp, they would cut through.
This busy, beautiful, and memorable day is not over when the ride is done. Back at the barn, we each unsaddle, brush down our horses, and and give them some well-deserved tasty grain. And while our four-legged friends are enjoying their treat, we'll have one of our own. Nice cold beer. Not everything about Rouse's is 100% authentic cowboy. At the end of the day, you'll spend the night in one of these cozy, comfortable rooms with a great hot shower. And the food is really good. And after dinner, Herman helps do the dishes.
It is nice to wash the dishes for your friends, where you feel as a guest. And this is truly a guest ranch and not a customer ranch.
And the perfect evening entertainment is just chill out on the porch and listen to the crickets. Next day, we're back in the saddle again, riding the trail, checking the cows, living the dream. The working cowboy life may not be everybody's dream, but if it's yours, this is the place where it can come true. You can't go to Rouse's without checking out the cowboy town of Burwell and its star attraction. Take a look. Peg Prickett is creating a custom bouquet holder for a Western wedding.
A bridal bouquet wrap, maybe is a better word for it.
It's not the typical item fashioned in a saddle shop, but County Line Saddle in Burwell, Nebraska is not a typical saddlery. I've never met a husband and wife saddle making team before.
I told you that's because they killed each other before you met them.
For nearly 30 years, Peg and her husband Dale have been teaming up to create handmade saddles, chaps, and all kinds of other leather goods, like these trophy breast collars for an upcoming cowboy triathlon in Bassett, Nebraska.
They shoot, they golf, and they rope.
I've never heard of that kind of a triathlon before.
One little more spin around there.
Their core customers are working cowboys, and in this part of the world, there are still plenty who make their living in a saddle, like this one that needs repair.
That's pretty much our venue here.
And it's often helpful to have two pairs of hands on a job. Dale and Peg know the needs of working cowboys because they've both lived the life. Peg's family raised bucking bulls and broncs for rodeos. Dale was a rodeo pickup man and a longtime farrier. Done it all in the cowboy world, then, huh?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, and we had bucking stock too.
But 16 years of shoeing horses wore him out.
Yeah, my whole body was getting wore out.
So he went to school to become a saddle maker, studying in Lusk, Wyoming, under the late Harry Adams.
I built 3 saddles.
3 saddles in 3 months.
Yep.
Both Peg and Dale have long enjoyed working with leather.
Oh yeah, my dad did a little saddle work and repaired some saddles, and in fact he went to Harry's saddle making school, but then he got out of there and didn't have time to make saddles. So
Peg's specialty is tooling,
He needed help.
yeah, I needed it. Yeah.
carving patterns and flowers.
Yeah, it just kind of was a natural thing to do.
Carving and stamping designs is much more than just decoration. It's also good for the saddle leather.
This is the part of the saddle that has a tendency to curl up, and when you stamp it, it compresses the fibers of the leather, and it has less chance of curling on it.
There's all kinds of stamping patterns.
The stamped saddle will last longer than one that isn't.
That decorative work adds a unique touch to a pair of chaps,
Double lightning bolts.
like these that are embossed with the owner's brand.
The guy's right-handed, so he has a string ring here, so it's out of his way.
Dale can even build chaps with an inside pocket.
I told him that don't think about internal pockets. When it rains, you got 2 pockets full of water.
And that's his brand.
Yep.
All the work is custom order, and there's no shortage of those.
Need to make some spur straps.
The Pricketts build most anything but clothing out of leather.
The lacing had rotted off of it, so I just relaced the whole thing for her.
And keep a book that displays some of their greatest hits. Spur straps, book covers, even a trophy briefcase for an auctioneering competition.
World Livestock Auctioneer Champion.
But custom saddles are the centerpiece of their work, and over the years they've built more than 200, the photos of which adorn the walls of their shop, each one individual and special. How old was your daughter?
19.
But none quite like this one.
She would be 42. We lost her.
Still hurts.
Yep.
Yep.
What kind of a saddle is that going to be?
It'll be a roping saddle.
Dale's building a brand new custom saddle that'll be shipped to Texas,
It's a Buster Welsh roper and a 15.5-inch seat.
an order that came by their one and only advertising campaign.
He was up here seeing this friend of ours and saw a saddle we made him, and decided he liked one, so.
Stopped in.
Then I put this piece in there to start it making go like this instead of like that.
There's lots of nuances to saddle building that you learn when you've spent your life horseback.
If you're gonna ride all day, you want it comfortable. If you're gonna be in the arena, them guys, they like them kind of flat so they can get up over them.
The Prickett's have shipped saddles from New York to California, even to Germany.
We have quite a few repeat customers. You know, they'll buy one, and then maybe buy one for themselves again, and then maybe for a boy or a daughter. Or
yeah,
That's for a little barrel racer or something? Or?
yeah.
In this shop where Western creativity and craftsmanship is alive and well.
It's been a great ride so far. Hope we're here a lot longer.
It's very nice to have a built-in saddle shop.
You'll find the Prickett's County Line Saddle Shop in the back room of Dry Creek Western Wear,
It's got everything you need.
Burwell's destination Western store.
We have known Jody for a long time.
Jody Boley has owned the store with her partner, Karen Spanel, for 29 years.
Buck and Katie that were in here have a particular style that they like, so we make sure that we stock what they like.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Jody even outfitted the couple's wedding.
Went with bolo ties instead of regular ties. A little different, so they got us hooked up for that.
You had a cowboy wedding, huh?
Oh,
Yeah,
we did.
Yep.
Buck and Katie are here today with friends visiting from Indiana.
We got to make sure that they don't have anything here in the West that we don't have in the East.
That we need to get.
That we need to get and be the, pioneers to have them back East.
We really love this little sweater. This is
Jody keeps the pulse of what's happening in the Western world.
my favorite part of the whole job here at Dry Creek Western Wear is picking out all of this stuff for everybody.
Burwell's the biggest town within 90 miles. Dry Creek stocks something for everybody.
And often when we're ordering and the sales reps tell us that everybody is ordering this, and we make sure then that's one item we don't order, because we want to make sure that if they're going to travel 90 miles to shop with us, that they don't see the same thing that they see at all the other Western stores.
There's fun stuff for kids.
And the little boys, they really like to look like Dad. So we have a lot of very traditional snap-up shirts, just like Dad would wear. And the girls, of course, like bright colors with the quarter zip pullovers. And here's another fun outfit right here with the striped pants so that they can look just like the big girls.
And fashionable hats for the ladies.
And they really are enjoying adding a little color to their outfits.
Plus, this hot new piece of Western headgear,
This is a hooey cap, and this is a little hooey guy.
the hooey cap.
It's just a cool story. They started it almost as a joke, and then it blew up into a huge family business.
There are cowboy boots, of course.
You have slim fits, relaxed fits, loose fits, high rise, low rise.
And a zillion pairs of Western jeans in every style.
And men's jeans used to be really easy. You had cowboy cut or slim fit. Now men have all kinds of cuts and styles and different pockets, just like the ladies do.
Dry Creek is especially busy when Nebraska's big rodeo is in town.
Just last week was Pitzer's horse sale. We have a lot of people that come from all over the country to that sale. We have a lot of people that come and shop with us from throughout the whole United States when they're here for some type of an event.
There's toys for the kids, home decor, and of course, tack for the cowboys.
We don't have the biggest tack department in the world, but we have a very compact, useful tack department.
And that includes headstalls, reins, and other gear made by Peg and Dale.
It's very cool to have stuff not only made in America, but made right here in Burwell.
Exactly. There's, of course, barrel racing reins, because you can't have a Western store if you don't have something for the barrel racers.
The saddle shop's been part of Dry Creek since Jody and Karen opened for business.
And you know, we've been partners here in the store for 29 years and we still like each other.
There's much more to check out here, in a place any cowboy or cowgirl will feel right at home.
It is working cowboy country, very much so. Things have changed a little bit over the years, but they'll always need to be working cowboys if you're going to have cattle.
Western movie location hunting, a favorite pastime of fans of the Lone Pine Film Festival, and you don't even need a license. We'll take you along just ahead on today's Wild West.
He's been gone for 43 years, and there's kids in their 20s that are John Wayne fans.
John Wayne, one of a long list of legendary movie stars who made classic Western films in the Alabama hills, at the foot of the towering Sierra Nevada mountains, just outside Lone Pine, California.
Yeah, it's filled with memories for me.
Son Patrick Wayne worked here too, starring in the 1966 Western, An Eye for an Eye.
Of course, you know, in the movie I played a blind guy, so I don't remember where we were on half the sets, but
he's among the stars, their descendants, and Western movie fans who flock here every Columbus Day weekend to celebrate the area's rich legacy Lone Pine Film Festival.
More movies, television shows, and commercials have been filmed in and around Lone Pine than any other single outdoor location in the world.
More than 400 movies and TV shows have shot here since the 1920s, most of them Westerns.
This is one of the handful of films that are truly great films shot here.
The 1948 Gregory Peck Western, Yellow Sky, was among the many films screened during the festival.
I was 11 years old.
William Wellman Jr. was here in Lone Pine when they shot it. His dad was the director.
And I just thought it was fabulous. All the cowboys and the guns and, the whole business. And I just had a great time.
Yellow Sky co-starred Richard Widmark and Ann Baxter.
When I would walk by her, and remember I'm 11, she'd grab me and pull me on her lap. And I liked it.
A5 is looking this way. This is when she pulls the gun on Gregory Peck.
What's really cool about Lone Pine is after you watch the movie, you can go see where it was made.
And those two buildings were there. The barn was right down this road.
On one of the many film location tours offered throughout the weekend.
There you go. That's pretty nice. Yeah. Just a couple more steps over.
Yeah, right there. If you turn to A12, you can see.
Fans get handouts with still photos of scenes from the movie and are led to the exact spot where that scene was filmed.
It looks like this rock may have fallen a little bit and the crevice is a little smaller, but maybe not. It might just be the lighting.
Yellow Sky is an especially rich film location, shot here in a logical sequence.
It's all exactly where it should be if you just follow the directions of the movie, which is very unique.
It's a fun challenge for movie buffs who enjoy tracking down the exact locations where films were shot.
It's like a little treasure hunt, finding actually where they were shot, what it looks like now, what's changed, what hasn't. The rocks don't change generally, but the brush certainly does and other stuff does. So yeah, it's great.
This is the spot where Gregory Peck and his outlaw gang, dying of thirst, finally find a water hole in the western Yellow Sky. And it's one of the few locations in the Alabama hills where you can still see a remnant of the movie. This cement wall built to hold the water hole, which has long since gone dry.
And the scenery is just amazing.
It's God's creation. It's just awesome.
Just the rock formations are unbelievable. I don't think photos do it justice. You almost have to see it in person.
Oh, there's the sun.
It's especially beautiful at dawn, and the festival offers an always popular sunrise tour. Getting up this early can be a bit of a challenge, but it's always worth it. Watch the sunrise light up the Sierra.
Incredible. Just the atmosphere, the people, the scenery, everything.
The perks include hot coffee, fresh donuts, and a little cowboy music.
It's kind of surreal to think that he walked these spaces and was riding around. I mean, it's pretty neat.
It's all very meaningful to Tony Cameron, whose late father Rod starred here in the 1948 Western Panhandle.
On one of the shots where they had a lot of the horses, somebody came in with a plane and buzzed the set and actually pinned my dad against a corral, and he ended up hurting his knee. Had to work the last part of the movie with a cage around his knee.
And you can even ride horseback down the same trails as those Hollywood heroes.
This is stunning, yeah.
This is Gene Autry Rock. Gene and his Wonder Horse Champion posed here for a promotional movie poster that was used for a number of his films.
On trail rides offered during the festival that can make you feel like you're starring in your very own Western.
And I went in and I read it.
And mingled among the festival goers are those who really did work in the movies.
I heard somebody say, yep, that's it.
And enjoy sharing their behind-the-scenes stories during the weekend.
I found out later that it was Taylor Sheridan.
Like Yellowstone star Rudy Ramos.
There was some crazy stuff that happened in that office.
Rudy's very first big role was also a Western on the classic TV show High Chaparral.
He said, how soon can you get to Tucson, Arizona? And there it was. So that was my first job. And
be able to chat with them, read their books that we get occasionally, to hear the discussions, the panel discussions. gives us really true insight into how the movies were made. And
Ron Johnson and Melinda White have been coming to the festival for years.
It's one of those things you look forward to every year.
Weekend MC Larry Maurice hasn't missed a festival since it began more than 30 years ago.
These movies are so universal. And to be able to come out here and go on location in Lone Pine and go and, walk in the rocks and see where it's gone and take your own pictures and put yourself there, it's hard to find anything negative about it. It really is. It's just a cool deal.
Whatever I can do to support this festival, I will do, because I think it's important. It's saying something that's important.
And the stars who make the journey here, like Patrick Wayne, are always glad they did.
For me, they also have wonderful stories about my dad, and they always have positive stories. It's great. It's great to hear it.
By the way, the Alabama Hills are amazing to see any time of year. Just stop in at Lone Pine's fabulous Museum of Western Film History, and after you see that amazing collection,
Another great ride with Mark.
get a map, and you can take a self-guided tour of the Alabamas and see all they have to offer. That's it for now. We're back next time with more cool stuff from today's Wild West. I'm Mark Bedore. We'll see you down the trail. For more information on the people and places featured in today's Wild West, or to order show DVDs and books, visit todayswildwest.com. Funding for Today's Wild West provided by the Leggett Foundation, the Chuck Wagon Trail Riders Foundation, and Monty Carroll Montgomery.